Okay, let's see here. Let's double check and see if we have something or not. Okay, there it goes. Now it's visible. That's much better. Okay, anyway. All right, so there's not any real point to the stream. I got a Lian Lee 215 case that the case fans, at least one of the case fans, went belly up. And I decided I was going to replace the fans. I originally was going to replace them with some thermal takes, but the thermal takes were too thick. I couldn't put the front back on again. So there we are. So needless to say, get this set here. Okay, so anyway, there's the Lian Lee case. We're going to try and fit these Cooler Master fans in here. See if we can fit these bad boys in there, and hopefully they'll plug into the controller that's on the back of the case and it'll be fine. And in the meantime, while I'm doing this, you know, if you guys have any questions you want to ask me, whatever it might be, just let me know. So without too much further ado, I'm just going to get kind of right to it and get this started. So these are 200 millimeter fans, by the way. They're quite large, and they're not, unfortunately, they're not cheap. So we're going to have to deal with them. And let me get the glass off of here first. That off. Get the back off, because I am going to have to get at the controller, which is in the back here. Okay, so there's our hub and whatnot. Both RGB and fan are on here. So, all right. So let's see. Let's get the front of this off. Always fun to try and pull these off. There we go. I've already taken the old fans out. Like I said, I was trying to replace them with thermal takes, but unfortunately they were a little too thick. So I'm going to switch over. And let's see. Let's get here. Hang on one second. Oop, there we go. Okay. So we're going to try these. And I gotta cut a little bit of tape here. So let's do that real quick. Piece of tape here. And a piece of tape over here. There we go. Alright, so that's our Cooler Master fan. Sorry for the close-up. I can't get the camera to sit up any higher or zoom out any more than that. Let's see, they have... I'm not sure what that is. What is that? Oh, it's a cover. I guess maybe you can daisy chain them? I don't know. No, we may try that out. Alright, so we got a set of screws here for them. I kept the old screws just to be on the safe side. So what I want to find out first is how badly are they going to fit? Or are they going to fit at all? And let's see here. The alignment here looks reasonably okay. And when I originally put the thermal takes on, this cover would not fit on here. So I'm trying to see if I can do something here to get it to fit. And I'm betting that I'm still gonna have trouble. Yep, thank you, Lian Lee. This is gonna be a very short stream then, because this is not gonna fit either. You gotta be kidding me. It's gonna be a short stream, kids. Unless I can figure out a way to get this to sit in here. It's gonna be a short stream. You gotta be kidding me. Let me go take a look at that Lian Lee fan again. Because what a surprise that would be, that it won't fit. Let me see. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, yeah. It's not going to fit because it's slightly off, it looks like. You know, interestingly enough, it should fit. But, oh no. Oh no. You're not going to be able to see this, but it's got extra here. That's why it won't fit. So, short stream. That ticks me off. That's the second set of fans that I can't get to fit in here. That's just annoying as hell. Well, you know what they say, live and unscripted, boys and girls. It's not, it's not going to fit. I don't think there's any way I can make it fit either. I can't come in from the bottom. I mean, I could modify it. I could cut off one of these, kind of take a Dremel or something, or yeah, a Dremel or something to it and cut it all up. But thank you, Lian Lee. Lian Lee also, by the way, doesn't sell these fans anymore, so thank you so much. That's a shame. All right, well, guess what? Screwed. So I'll have to return these as well. That's unfortunate. Okay, well, in that case, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to switch back over to here. And oh, guess what? That's where we are. That's annoying as hell. It's the second set of fans that will not fit this case. God, this ticks me off. Absolutely ticks me off. I can't find the fans that will fit in this case. Now, what I might have to wind up doing, which I really wasn't looking forward to doing, so those will go back to Amazon. There is now let me go back to the other. Hang on, let me go back to the other one here real quick. There is the possibility that I can fit, looks like 1, 2, maybe 3. Yes, I can fit 3 120 fans on here, so I may have to do that. That's annoying. That's very annoying. I really wanted to have the 200 millimeter fans, but apparently that's not going to cut it. So that's a pain in the ass. All right, so guess what, guys? It's going to be a very short stream. Can you mount them under the screen? No. No, that's not possible. There are no... What, under here, you mean? No. No, there's no mounting places for the screws themselves. There's nothing there. So, all right, short stream. My God. Can't win for losing. Cannot win for losing. That's annoying as hell. Son of a bitch. All right, well, these fans were $43 a piece. They weren't cheap. and they will not fit. So I'll go back to Amazon. Already, Thermaltakes went back months ago because they were too thick. So can't win for losing. All right. That's unfortunate. All right, so we're down to, if you guys have any questions for me, I'll be happy to entertain them. If you are looking for any kind of hardware advice, if you have stuff that's not qualified for Windows 11 and you kind of want to know what your options might be, we can discuss that if you want. It's entirely up to you. Yeah, that's disappointing. That's just, oh man. All right, so that's not going to go. Anyway, I figured I'd at least attempt to live stream this. I thought it was going to go much better than obviously it just has. So that's screwed up. Yeah, these are apparently very unique fans or something. And I mean, this one is fine. It's fine, but the other one just, the bearing was shot. So, all right. So that's out of the question. Yeah, that's out of the question. Anyway, at some point, I have to reconfigure my NAS. I have 2 more 8 terabyte drives, thanks to Tony. Tony, I saw you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. So I'm going to put that into a RAID 5 configuration with the other 2 terabytes I've already got in there. I'm going to take out the pair of 4 terabytes, pull them out, put the 2 8s in, and reconfigure for RAID 5. Pulling the data off unfortunately took several days. It took several days to move about 4.5 terabytes of data, or copy, I should say, not move, copy 4.5 terabytes of data off of the NAS. That was just annoying as hell. But I have 2 copies of the data, so hopefully I'm okay. Because once I reconfigure the drives, that data is gone. You can't go from 2 mirrored sets to a RAID 5 and keep your data at the same time. It would be nice if you could, but you can't do it. So basically, pull all the stuff off, reconfigure, put all the stuff on. So that'll be fun. Anyway, let's see. Well, we did have Patch Tuesday, and I still have, the white belt is still sitting here. This is still for sale, kids, if anybody's interested and you happen to be on the East Coast, because I am sure as hell not shipping it out to the West Coast. You can no. I've got 2 fingers for that, one on each hand. Not going to happen. So, let's see here. Let's look through the chat here. Stealth Mode, good afternoon. John Williams, Tony Wallow. Let's see. Jeff Ryman is here. Let's see. Rick Lakes is here. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's about it. Looks like we've got maybe 5 to 8 people in the chat. And that's about normal for my streams. I have a small but dedicated group of people who do show up, and I appreciate that. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get this. I need to do Patch Tuesday. I do this every month. That build has been there for a while, and every month I pull it off the shelf, put it on the bench, and I do the Windows updates. And there's been some, is it a Windows 10 update or a Windows 11 update that's supposed to take like forever? I don't remember. It's been a recent thing. I think it's been this last one, as a matter of fact. So All right, let me go grab this thing. All right, let me grab this bad boy. You know, you build a gaming rig, these things, they never turn out to be light. By the time you stuff all the crap in them. So let me see, where is my, I had a plug here at some point. Hang on, guys. Hang on. There we go. All right, there we go. Got an AC plug. Let's see. Yep. Okay. Get this in here. Okay, so let's get our power. Let's get our, I think that's the HDMI. Yes, that's the HDMI. Okay. Let me see here. Can we zoom out at all? We can. All right, there we go. That's a little better. All right, that's a little better. Okay. I need a mouse and keyboard. So let's do this. Let's get our keyboard here. Mouse here. So anyway, no questions from anybody. It's a little disappointing, but well, no, well, such is life. Okay, so let's take this and let's shrink this here. Let me pull up the, there we go, the signal there. There's been an update. I have to fix that. I know there's been an update, and I'm probably going to have to fix that. That's not going to be a good time, but whatever. Okay, so let's turn the power on. Was it on? It was. Oh, switch was on in the on position. That's interesting. All right, let's see. Will it? Are we going to light up here or not? Come on. I got a defective plug here. Let me take a look here. 1 second. Maybe I have a defective plug. Let's try that. There we go. Okay. All right, let's see if it'll behave itself. There we go. Okay. Network cable. Need a network cable. Not going to work too well without one of those. So let me find my network cable. I put some of this stuff away. And of course, as soon as I put it away, I need it. So, surprise, surprise. Okay. All right. Hang on a minute, guys. There we go. There's that one. All right, network. There we go. Okay. All right, so let's go in and hold on a second here. Let me go over here. There we go. That's better. Anyway. So yeah, I do this every month. Any systems that I built that are sitting around, I put them back on the bench and I run the updates. And let's see if is the tracking working today? The tracking is working today. Okay. So anyway, let's see here. Through here. Alrighty. Okay. Interesting that I was hoping Ken would show up, but apparently not. That's a little unfortunate. But oh well. Such is life. So you guys got any questions? You got any suggestions? I'm all ears. Just, you know, spit them out. But wow, this is taking a bit longer than I would have suspected. Yeah, John, activation is needed. I'm not going to waste an activation on a system that isn't sold. As soon as it's sold, I will put a key on it. Not doing it beforehand. There's no point to it. Wow, this is taking its sweet time, isn't it? Well, it's doing something because I'm looking at the drive indicator and it's just blinky, 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 blinky. So it's doing something. All right. Ah, there we go. There it is. Like I said, it apparently took a while. Okay, so these are all security. There's Patch Tuesday right there. There's that bad boy. So, all right, this will do its thing. $18,650. That vaguely rings a bell. I don't know that I've ever had to buy those for a new spectrum analyzer. Yeah, can't help you there. I'm sorry, no. Can't help you with that one, I'm afraid. Those are, I want to say they're somewhat unusual batteries, but yeah, can't help you with that one. Yeah. Okay, so but John, assuming you're still there, I hope that what I said made sense. No sense in wasting an activation key on a system that's not sold. That takes 5 minutes to do, and that probably includes getting the key online. So somebody wants to buy it, it gets sold, and key goes on it, and yeah, have a nice day. Plus, the other thing too is if you get the OEM keys, you want to make sure you use them as soon as you order them. You don't want to let it go 3 months or whatever the heck to use the key, because then it might not work. So what am I selling it for? I'm trying to get the $750 I spent in parts It has been sitting since August when I built it. It sits on the shelf. Every month it gets pulled down. Windows updates are done. It gets put back on the shelf. So it has almost no time. I'm not charging for anything related to labor, and I'm throwing in the Windows key. All I want back is the money I spent on the hardware. That's all I want. I don't think that's being too unreasonable. You're talking about an i5 12400. There is 32 gig, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I believe there's 32 gig of DDR6000 CL30. I believe it's CL30. It's got an ARC A750 in it. What else? It's got a 1 terabyte NVMe in it. Trying to think of what else. Well, I think that's basically it. I mean, it's got a 700 watt power supply, so if you decide to take out the A750 and put in something beefier, if you will, 700 watts should be more than enough. I run on my gaming rig a 7600X for the CPU and an RX 7800 XT for the graphics card. And I run that on a 700 watt power supply, and I've measured the power coming from the wall, and it's still under 500 watts. So, yeah, Jeff, I know, you can confirm holding on to a key is not a good idea. Let's see. Let me just take a look real quick. Yeah, the keys are like, yeah, they're around 15. They fluctuate a little bit. They can be as cheap as 11. They can be as much as 19 or 20. They fluctuate a little bit. But yeah, there's really no point in bothering with getting the key until you're ready. Well, this one is definitely taking its sweet time. Okay, went to slow. Come on, there you go. All right, there we go. So I went to sleep. Okay. So I have a project that I am going to be doing, but it has to be done when the wife is at least somewhat willing. Her machine is on a B450 motherboard, 16 gig, and right now it has a Ryzen 5 3400G. I have a processor here for her. It's actually here. I bought it a while ago. 5700G. I'm going to change out the CPU. I'm going to convert the drive from MBR to GPT, and get her ready for Windows 11, because she needs to do that. She runs Quicken to handle her banking, and I've stressed upon her, not that she listens to me, there'd be a surprise, most people don't, but she uses Quicken, and the last time that we had a problem was when Windows 7 went out of support, because that's what she was running before she ran 10. And once Windows 7 ran out of support, Quicken said, oh, I'm sorry, no, you're not getting any more security updates for your operating system. Guess what? I'm not going to install the update. Screw you. So we had to get her on 10, and then the software would install. Well, the same problem is going to happen when 10 goes out of support. It may not, if she goes to load that software or update for the coming year, 2026, she's going to run into the same problem again. And I've tried to stress upon her you need to be proactive, not reactive. You want to move to 11 before it becomes a problem, and it will become a problem. You run into the same issue. I told her you're going to run into the same issue that you had before. I know you don't like 11. Nobody likes 11 for the most part. Well, okay. Some people do. I can tolerate it. I've got it on the computer behind me that runs stuff in the shack. Yeah, may have to, whatever. I don't know. That's her, Stealth. That's her thing. She does her banking through that. It's not my monkey, not my circus. I don't do any of that kind of stuff at all. You know, the extent to which I interface with my bank is I log in, make sure the balances is where it's supposed to be. Any suspicious activity, etc., etc., etc. But other than that, I don't interface with my bank. As far as I'm concerned, the bank is there to hold the money that I put into it till I need it. And that's it. So, anyway. Let's see. Yeah, exactly, John. You don't get the key until you're ready to install it. Well, I'm not ready to install it. So, but yeah, she's going to need, considering the stuff that Windows 11 resources are obviously much more than Windows 10. So she's going to need the upgraded processor. The 3400G is a 4-core 8-thread, and the 5700G is an 8-core 16-thread. So we're essentially going to double her horsepower. There it goes again with the, there we go. All right. So that should do her for at least a good 5 years. And I originally built that system in 2019. It originally was a Ryzen 3 2200G. It got moved up to a 3400G when I started building my gaming system because I wanted something a little bit beefier. And this next one's going to be the 5700G. So we should get to 10 years without too much trouble. We may get more than that out of it, depending on what happens. Okay, Greg M. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good afternoon. I have to upgrade someone's 7th gen Intel system, motherboard, CPU, memory after 7 years. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, my philosophy is very similar to somebody else that we both know. And that is that once a system hits 10 years old, it needs to be replaced. So 7, yeah, it's not ideal, but yeah. All right, so let's go into here and come on, where's my little pointer? Get rid of that one. All right, so, all right, let's see how long this takes. We're going to let that go ahead. Chris Garrett, howdy do. Out of curiosity, Greg, is it a business machine? Is it something else? And also, second question, are you considering AMD at all? That's my other question. Not a business. Okay. So it's kind of like, you know, the seniors who check their email and watch YouTube kind of thing. BH Ringer, hello. All right, come on. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Is that my OSNL thing? You can do it. I cannot do it. You can do it. No preference for the user. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Chris, no comment. No comment. Oh, God. Oh, that's funny. Well, Greg, as long as it's not a gaming system of any kind, I don't. An AMD with built-in graphics, even just the normal ones are probably okay. I have a tough time. Oh, that didn't take long. It didn't take long at all. I have a tough time justifying the cost of like the, what is it, the 8700G. I haven't looked at the prices recently, but the last time I checked it, it was still outrageous. All right, let's go back into here. Go into here. Oh, that looks different. The system about looks different. Interesting. Ha! Okay, so yeah, it's a 1 terabyte drive. Graphics card's got 8 gig, 32 gig in the system, i5 12400. That's that whole thing there. That's kind of interesting. I don't remember seeing that before. So cool. It identifies the motherboard, which I don't think it did before. I don't think it ever identified the motherboard. Correct me if I'm wrong. So that's probably new. Interesting. Yeah, 24H2. Yeah, OS build. So this I think is completely new. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Canada. Yeah, prices are higher. Well, you know what? The rate that jackass is going, they're going to be the same for us. Stupid son of a bitch. Anyway, 5600 GT. Yeah, if it's a budget system, yeah, I can definitely see that. Oh, so that's also on Windows 10. Okay. Well, yeah, I haven't checked my gaming rig. My gaming rig is still on 10. I haven't moved it over to 11 yet. That's going to be a cluster, I'm pretty sure. So I'm kind of dreading that. But okay, I'll have to check, because I did Patch Tuesday. It was done on the gaming system, so I gotta check that and see if this same thing is there. Interesting. 5600 GT. Yeah, again, I can see it. I don't know. I'm gonna go take a look at something real quick. Just bear with me 1 minute, guys. Make sure I get the right keyboard. There we go. Get the right keyboard.
Yeah, and I know the prices are higher in Canada, but I'm just curious about something. Okay. Let me sort it by price. 56. Where are you? GT. Okay, 120. Okay, so in the US, it's about 128 bucks. The 5700G is 161. So yeah, okay, so it's not quite a $40 price difference even here in the US, but okay, yeah. Yeah, if the budget's a little tight, I can certainly see that. $5,600. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I can certainly see that. Okay, now when you build upgrade CPUs. Okay. Yeah, gotcha. Okay, 180 for the 56 GT. Okay. Yeah, AM4 versus AM5. Yeah. Yeah. But if they don't change out the CPU, which, yeah, I grant you that's an enthusiast thing. Let's all be honest. And that's what I am. I'm an enthusiast. About on Windows 10 is the same. I double checked. Also says, of course it says that, Chris. Of course it does. There's no surprise. Okay. So anyway, let's so that's new. I have to double check that on the gaming system. So that's something. Okay. Anybody have any comments about the software that I have installed on the system by default? You'll notice that there's a couple of things here. Anybody got any opinions on those? Because that's kind of like, this is my standard thing. I will load up certain things on the system by default. Browsers, I have my preferences, which is Firefox, but I won't force that on anybody. They want something, they want Chrome, they can download it. It's not a big issue. But I'm curious if anybody has any comments about the software that I've installed on here. Okay, so that's there, that's there. Okay, whatever. Who cares? Drive, yeah, okay. You can take your OneDrive, and I got a place where you can stick that. Yeah, if it was an enthusiast build, I'm sorry, no, that's not what that says. That says LibreOffice. Hold on, let me see if I can see if it'll highlight. That's LibreOffice. That is a free alternative to Microsoft Office. Keep in mind, if you will, that other than the operating system, I steer as far away from anything Microsoft as I possibly can. I've never cared for them. The operating system I have to deal with if I want to do certain things, but beyond that, I don't use any of their other stuff. No Office 365, no Microsoft 365, no Microsoft account, no Outlook, no, I don't know, pick something. That's Microsoft. No, I have spent my entire PC career, if you want to call it that, purposely avoiding as much Microsoft stuff as I possibly can. Yes, it'll open Word documents. It'll open Excel spreadsheets. It'll open up PowerPointless. Yes, it's a free Office suite. It doesn't cost you anything. Download it and try it. That's my response. Try it. It looks different, yes, but it can read all the Microsoft stuff. Yeah, well, I have, Greg, I don't know exactly how old you are, but I spent a decade on OS2 Warp. First version 3, then version 4. I went from MS-DOS to OS2. The very first Microsoft operating system that I used at home, it was either 2000 or XP. One of those two. That was it. And at one point I had a machine that would boot MS-DOS, OS2, either 2000 or XP, again, I can't remember. I think might have been 2000. Oh, and Linux Mandrake, which I think is now called Mandriva or something of that nature. So I had a machine that could boot 4 different operating systems. I don't know if that tells you anything or not. Hey, John, let's see. The other day, friend asked me to check his PC. Ryzen CPU, MSI motherboard, B450, 32 gig, 1 terabyte with Windows 7 Pro. Oh, Jesus Christ. No, why? Why? Oh my God. I mean, don't get me wrong. When I was on 7, yeah, I resisted 10 for a while. It took a little while before I went to 10. As I said before, my wife went to 10. She went to 10 later than I did. Only when Quicken said, you know, screw you, we're not installing. Upgrade your operating system or kick rocks. But yeah, I was hesitant with 10. All these years later, yeah, 10's fine. 11 annoys me. I can work in it. I can get around what I need to do. It annoys me because they keep hiding crap. Things that I'm used to being able to find right away, I can't find. So yeah, that annoys me. Yeah, you did not build it. Yeah, whether you built it or not, it's like Windows 7 Pro in 2025. Why? Holy crap. I mean, it sounds like it's on its surface, it sounds fine. Okay, did this thing go to sleep on me? What the hell's going on here? I think it went to sleep on me. It's doing something. Weird. Okay. So anyway. All right, I'm going to take this off the screen at this point. Put my ugly mug in there. There we go. So anyway, yeah, I'm not sure what it's doing. It's doing something. I'm not going to worry about it right now. It's done, as far as I'm concerned. It's done. Okay. I don't know. Is there anything else? Well, I mean, we can sit here and have a discussion, practically anything you want. But yeah, let's see. Yes, Windows 7 on the Ryzen. Yes, Chris. that's not something that's impossible. Do you happen to know, John, which Ryzen CPU he has in there? Because, I mean, that thing is I mean, that's fine. I mean, yes, the operating system is like, I want to go scream. But do you happen to know what CPU's in it? Because, I mean, from what I'm looking at, it looks like it's a pretty decent system. All right, well, I think I'm going to shut this thing down in a minute. Let's see if it's doing, yeah, it's still got no signal. I don't know exactly why. Interesting. Oh, there it goes. It came back. There we go. It came back. All right. No biggie. All right, so I'm going to shut this thing down because it's pretty much done at this point. Get this off the bench, put it back where it belongs. Return these two fans to Amazon. I'm still freaking annoyed. Thank you, Lian Lee. Pain in the ass. Okay. Off. That off. Let me lock this thing down. It's gonna, yep, it's gonna do that. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. Bring my ugly mug up a little bit. There we go. Anyway, so all right. So that's the deal, kids. There we go. Okay. So anyway, get my keyboard back here where it belongs. This way. Or I lose the dongle, that'd be not a good thing. Ryzen 5 5500G or 5600G? 5500G? Let me double check that. I know. Yeah, I'm guessing it's actually a 5600G, but that's okay. Yeah, okay. Well, I certainly nothing wrong with the system. I'm just, yeah, 32 gig is a lot of memory for a Windows 7 system. And if I remember correctly, wasn't there like two different Windows 7, like 32-bit and 64-bit, I think? I could be wrong. You know, I'm getting there. I'm 60 plus, so but yeah, I was pretty sure that there's a 32-bit version and a 64-bit version. Yeah, my throat's dry. Time for the cherry Coke. because there was also, there was a 32-bit Windows 10 too, if I remember correctly. Okay, it was the XP Pro that was rare. Okay. Okay. All right, 5500. If I remember correctly, a 5500 doesn't have integrated graphics, so I'm guessing he's got a graphics card in there somewhere, but I'm going to double check. I can't keep track. I've been doing this for 40 years and there's a point where I can't keep track anymore. Yeah, 5500 doesn't have the graphics. A 5500 GT would have graphics. So that's the difference. But a plain Jane 5500, so I'm guessing he has a 5500 GT. Okay, that would make sense. That would make sense. Yeah, like I said, all this stuff blurs. You know, and I'm back in the days where if you didn't bleed putting a computer together, you didn't do it right. Okay. Well, if he's got 32 gig memory and a 1 terabyte, that would almost indicate to me that it's a gaming system, because the home user doesn't even use 512. I mean, my wife has my wife has Quicken. She has I mean, I one of these days I gotta take a screenshot of her desktop background. She has icons out to like 3/4 of the frickin' screen. It staggers my imagination. I don't understand how in the bloody hell she does that. Just like, you gotta be kidding me. She also has Firefox, Chrome, and Opera installed on the machine. I know I have either OpenOffice or LibreOffice on hers. I think it might be OpenOffice. I don't remember off the top of my head. And she downloads games from outfit called Big Fish. The games are not terribly demanding. You can play them on internal graphics without any problem whatsoever. But she's got, I want to say, somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 of those games. And if she's using 3/4 of the drive, I would be surprised. And it's, like I said, it's a 512 NVMe. I did remove the SSD, made him a backup of the new software all installed and activated. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, Craig. Oh, that's my wife. That's my wife. I have gone into her machine on occasion and cleaned up her email. She uses Thunderbird just like I do. She is horrendously bad at organizing her email at all. So I have to go into her email every so often, and I've got to pull stuff out of the inbox and archive it to other places or move it to other places or whatever. Her inbox at one point had every bit of her email spanning from, I want to say 2019 till today, maybe even further back than that, because I think I transferred the Thunderbird stuff over from the previous machine she had. So, yeah, I think she had stuff that was even older than that. And it was all sitting in her inbox. All of it. And I'm like, Jesus, no, you gotta be kidding me. So over time, I went in and I created a folder for, let's just say, 2015. And all the emails that were from 2015, I shoved them in there. I mean, just no organization whatsoever as far as her email is concerned. Her financials? Oh, yeah, she knows her financials without any problem. One of the reasons I married her, she's freaking smart. She's very organized when it comes to her job. But for some reason, her personal email is a freaking mess. So, I don't know. Yeah, oh my God. And to get her to create filters for any of this stuff is like, no. I got a better shot at the second coming. Because a lot of this would be solved with, you have folders for certain things that you know are coming every month, week, day, whatever the hell. If you set up your filters and create the folders, things organize themselves. You can find stuff. That was the other thing. God, trying to find stuff in her email. Oh, I wanted to scream. I'm like, somebody please put me out of my misery. So, but I love her, but she drives me crazy. She's smart as a whip. Continues to use a mouse where the right mouse click has been dead for years. Oh my God, that's funny. Yeah, same thing. I use filters and different folders for, like, I'm on email mailing lists, and if I had to try and figure that out with it all just going into the inbox and no place else, it would be a mess. So yeah, I've got filters set up. I've got half a dozen roughly folders for the different mailing lists and whatnot that I'm on. And I can see at a glance what's going on. So yeah. Oh my God. What's that line from Total Recall? No, not Total Recall. I'm sorry. No, not Total Recall. Damn it. True Lies. True Lies. I've said this before. The line from True Lies, where Schwarzenegger's character figures out his wife is kind of messing around, and Tom Arnold, who's his partner, is this great line, and he goes, "Women can't kill him. You can't live with him. Can't kill him." So that's just, yeah. There are times when I think of that line when it comes to my wife. All right, guys. Been a little over an hour. We got nothing else going on. I think I'm probably going to shut this thing down because the reason I was going to do the live stream is screwed me. So, oh God, I can't win for losing. It makes me crazy. Probably what I'll have to wind up doing is I will probably look at a couple of those either 120 or 140 millimeter fans that you can that click together, so you've only got one set of cables. I might do that. So it depends. I mean, I'm not using the case. I've given up using the case because at this point I think I'm going to basically concentrate on micro ATX builds. ATX builds are just, they're heavier, they're unwieldy, and there's not a lot of places you can stick them. Micro ATX that I did to replace the original gaming system, that's on the that's in the live section. You go to the channel and click on live, and that's in there. It's the last, I think it's the last live stream I did. Yes, I went from a 5600X to a 7600X. And I went from being in that huge Lian Li ATX case to, what is it, that A3? It's still a Lian Li case, if I remember correctly, but it's the A3 with the wood front. And that's, I can literally put that on a shelf. I don't have to worry about it being on the floor, either kicking it or, you know, on the carpet being suffocated, or whatever. It's on a shelf. It's very, you know, you blink and you might not, you'll probably miss it. It doesn't have any RGB except what's on the motherboard, which actually shines through the back of it, because I've got it sitting so that the wood front is looking at me here, but all the connections are in the back. And if I were using a case with glass, the glass would be up against the wall. So what would be the point of having RGB in it? There's no point in that. So I went with something that was all mesh. Whoops. It was all mesh. Good God. Even I don't want to see myself that close up. Oh, sorry guys. Yeesh. So I went with something that was completely mesh everywhere. And I can see some of the motherboard lights through the back. So when it's sitting on the shelf, I can tell when it's on, because I can see some lighting. But yeah, I'm getting to the point where RGB, don't give a rat's ass. Large ATX cases, no. So we're going with micro ATX at this point. If you see me do any future builds, you can pretty much be, unless I'm doing something for somebody. If somebody asks me to build a machine and they want an ATX size machine, I'll be happy to do that. But yeah, if you see me doing builds on this channel, they're probably going to be primarily micro ATX. Did I? No, BH Ringer, I did not. I not run into a situation where I need to do any cloning right now. That may come, and I will definitely take a look at it at that point. But I don't have any need for it right now. The way that I'm going to wind up doing my wife's machine, at least this is the plan. Whether or not the plan works, as we just found out that one didn't, whether or not the plan works is a different subject. But the plan is that I make a backup of her drive, an image of her drive, using Macro and Reflect. then convert the drive from MBR to GPT. Now, I've already tested her drive. Excuse me. I've already tested her drive, and it passes the test. So it's fine. I tried to do that with the system over here, the ham radio thing, and there was something with the drive that it just said there's a problem. It wouldn't describe what the problem was. I couldn't fix it. What I wound up doing in that case is I wound up blowing off the thing. Actually, I did an image backup with macro and reflect. I wiped the drive completely, did a clean install of Windows 10 using GPT format. And then using macro and reflect, I restored the C partition only. And other than I had to fix some boot problem, that worked. That was fine. And then at that point, I did the Windows 11 upgrade, which in itself ran into problems because at the time that I did it, the upgrade was from Windows 10 22H2, which is the only version available, and then it was Windows 11 22H2, which I didn't think would be a problem, but when I did the upgrade, I started having all kinds of problems with the interfaces that I use for my ham radio stuff. It wouldn't function. So I had to back it off. And once I backed that out, everything came back, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. And at that point, what I did is I downloaded and made a 24H2 thumb drive, stuck it in, ran the setup program. It took off, and when it was done, everything was still fine. So there was something in Windows 11 22H2 that my stuff didn't like. So that was a fun time. That was an entire day. That was one entire day to figure out, Jesus, this thing's a pain in my ass. But it's fine now. Client wants a micro ATX build. Okay. Yeah. Greg, you gonna go with the Ultra chips if you do Intel, or are you actually going to do like an AM4 build? Oh, and the system, get the right hand. There we go. That is a micro ATX build. It doesn't really look like it, but it is. It's a micro ATX board and case. Give me a general list of parts. i9. Ooh, okay. Well, now that they've got those parts under control with the limits that they should have set from the beginning, yeah, probably fine. i9, okay. Oh, dear God, no. Oh, I hate ITX. I've never built one. I never will. I never will build an ITX. That's no. Most of the cases that you put those boards in, there's no room to work. No. I don't know. That I don't do. And the boards are expensive. I mean, you go look at an ATX board, a micro ATX board, and an ITX board. ITXs are always more expensive. They're so tiny, and expansion slots or NVMe slots or any kind of that stuff. It's almost non-existent. Typically, the ITX board will have an NVMe on the top of the board, and then there'll be another one on the bottom. And that's usually about it. You typically don't get more than that. Yep, Stealth is exactly right. It's a pain in the ass to work on. Yes. I hate those things. I absolutely hate them. Anytime I see a channel doing an ITX build, I just like, no. What was it? Jay's 2 cents, Paul's Hardware, Bitwit/Kyle. Anytime I see that they have a build video up, first thing I look for is it an ITX build? If it is, then I'm not interested. I don't care what it is. I'm not interested. Cooling. What cooling? Yeah. Oh, God. That's funny. That's funny. All right. I'm getting long in the tooth, although not as long-winded as somebody else that we all know. Right, guys? So yeah, let me get out of here. And with that, I appreciate everybody who showed up. Let me just run down the list. I don't think the list got not a whole lot larger. But Stealth Mode, John Williams, Tony Wallow, Jeff Fryman. Let's see who else. Rick Lakes. Jeff Fryman, I said that, I believe. I'm just looking through the chat to see who all showed up. Greg M., thank you for showing up. Alrighty, BH Ringer. Okay. See if I missed anybody. Did I miss anybody? Chris Garrett, it's him. There we go. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So, yeah, I don't see anything else. All right. All right, guys. I will catch you at some point. I don't know exactly when. The problem is I do videos as I have projects, and when I don't have projects, that's kind of a problem. I could go over configuring Sigma NAS for RAID 5. I could do a small pre-recorded video on that. I don't know that I'm really interested in doing that. I want to do the wife's system live, though. That I want to do live. I want to do the disk conversion. I want to do CPU. I want to do all that stuff. And I want to see how long it takes. I want to see how long it takes for the system to start yammering about Windows 11. That probably will wind up being a follow-up video, but I'd be curious to see how long it takes. Once I've got the drive converted over and the CPU in, I want to see how long it takes for the system to start going, Windows 11, Windows 11, Windows 11. If it happens during the stream, I'll laugh my ass off. But I can't wait to see how that happens. All right, I'm going to get in here. Let's see. George just caught the last 20 minutes. Okay. Well, DVR, I believe, is enabled. You can rewind if you like. Basically, I've been screwed by Lian Li because I can't find a fan that fits, a 200 millimeter fan that fits inside the case to replace the 200 millimeter fans in it that died. I've tried Thermaltake, and now I've tried Cooler Master. Nothing wants to fit. So I'm going to have to regroup and think about it. Like I said, I think what I'm going to wind up doing is those, I think several people make them. they come in 120 and 140 size, and they magnetically stick together. There's room in here, and there's rails in here for those fans, for smaller fans, which I believe is what the case was originally designed for. And they just stuck 200 millimeters in it because they could, and maybe they had them laying around and said, well, we got this inventory, let's throw it in there. I'm guessing. But I think what I'll wind up doing is I'll get 3 of those fans, stick them in there. It will only be one set of cables because the magnetic, that daisy chain, and probably go from there. Alrighty, let me get out of here. All right, kids, we'll see you down the road, and everybody have a good rest of your evening. Now, let me get out of here. Toodles.